Ladies and gentlemen, I think that in this video that you just saw, you realized clearly the size of all the huge challenges that we are facing. And at the end of this conference, all the discussions that will be concluded will have this specific goal to showcase the solutions. And now I am honored to have here Mr. Pavlos Marinakis, Minister, whose presence will showcase how the national strategy will be able to illuminate this process. He will talk about public policies, transformations, the priorities that shape the framework of the development in the following years. So could you please come to the podium so that you can share the vision of the government? Thank you. Hello. DSS, representatives of the state, of the public sector and the private sector, friends. First of all, this building is really impressive. And this is how I would like to start, actually. This entire conference is the answer to the question, what do people want from us? Not only from the state, but from us, from the institutions and the associations and the funds. What do they want? We want to talk about the future, but the present also. In any type of conversation, whether we are in the news or a conference or an anniversary commemorative dinner or something, we need answers. The answers that we consider as correct anyway, because that's subjective. Answers for their future, for their place, for the people, for the country that they live in, for their family. So this is what I think that the government has already decided, and the Prime Minister, Mr. Kyriakos Mitsotakis, has already accepted his mistakes, has corrected his route, and he has provided a measurable project in a very difficult area, in a very difficult time. And the goal is to talk about what troubles people, what troubles every household in Greece. So I would like to mention some parameters, mostly in the form of problems. I was going through my notes that until 2030, Greece is being called to implement more than 5,000 projects and interventions in the regional design of development with investments that go upwards of 68 billion euros. So I would like to draw some conclusions from this reality. These are not just mock-ups, all these projects. These are not just designs on paper. These are specific local, regional projects that have as a goal to diminish distance, diminish inequality. And not just the distance by kilometers to bring people closer together, but also the chasm that was created during the financial crisis through the big cities and the other areas. So what are those numbers? What are those billions that our country, those 36 billion, that our country will use for that? What is the NSRF? What is the Resilience Fund? This is not just money, but these are also places of work. 10 years ago, the entire discussion was moving around whether this country has enough jobs for all of us, whether we will be able to find a dignified job. The first thing we do, you do, because I'm mostly talking about people that act, is to give jobs to people by investing their money, by utilizing the resources given by the state, by opening more work positions. Do not underestimate this target. Each year, each month, we have the pleasure to have good news when it comes to the rates of unemployment. So this is a big win of this state, along with civil society, along with the institutions, along with all professionals, and we should build on that. Any person that finds a job can hope to a better future, but is also a link in a chain that will help the future goals of the state. Mr. Stournaras can understand that because he has seen all that through his position. So the second thing I'd like to say is that we give an answer to a more difficult discussion. When we represent each political space, each institution, and unfortunately, there are some that say that 2.5 billion given by the governments are not a lot, or we should give extra incentives, or a 13th salary during the year, or reduce the VAT. Everybody agrees on that. There is no politician that doesn't want more money, to give more money to the people. But how can we give this money? So another thing that offered by this conference and your presence is answers to that, answers to those questions. Money does not just appear through, a money-making tree or something. We're trying to reduce the taxation, but this money will come from the development of the economy and the work market. The third thing I'd like to say is that the discussion to continue all those great projects is valuable, but also another thing is to keep them and manage to sustain them for many years. The previous governments, unfortunately, did not see that as a priority, and iconic infrastructure and iconic projects do not work well for the state anymore. For example, the Metro of Thessaloniki. All of us, even us in the government that were representing this project, we were all surprised. We were all surprised, and we never believed that this project would be finally completed. Maybe you don't have the same mindset in the private sector. I have had the chance to work in the private sector as a freelancer and also become a politician later, so I can see both sides of the coin. But trustworthiness is an important word. All those great projects, but also smaller projects, give value to society, and people understand that. They live through that. This is something measurable. And as these projects move forward and improve their lives, no matter what they do, they reduce untrustworthiness. So in order for us to say the truth and convince someone, first of all, you need to make them listen. So I think that the synergies through society, civil society, institutions, your work that you do here is a project of national and patriotic importance. We did something that did not exist in the past. We have a website in which every erga.gov.gr where everyone can check every project on real time. So this is called accountability, and the state should be accountable from now on everything, every aspect. So I will close my speech. I hope I didn't tire you. And I would like to end with two goals, which I think that are very important. Like I said in my speech, to continue to develop and evolve, to how to return back to the people the things he's been deprived of during the financial crisis. And we will find the money by reducing taxes, by developing the economy, in order to share this money with a way we consider as fair and just. And the second thing I'd like to say is that we talk about a lot of hot potatoes, the demographic, a lot of people staying in large cities, and these are a bit problematic. Nothing will change and will be solved fragmentally. Everything is connected, and we will start with the basic, that the country should continue to develop and grow, increase its GDP, produce more work positions, more jobs, produce wealth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear representative of the government.